All right, as promised, here is Craig Button to talk about the trade of Nikita Zadorov from the Calgary Flames to the Vancouver Canucks. Craig, you and I always talk about the Canucks needing defensemen. Here they go. They acquired Zadorov, and they do it by clearing out that cap space in the Anthony Beauvillier trade just earlier in the week. Do you like that move, that whole collective move by Patrick Allvin and company?
I'm raising it from like to really love it. I think that when you look at what Patrick Allvin has been able to do, clearing up some money, and it's not just a player that plays on the defensive side of the game. He's exactly what makes teams better. He's big, he's got length, he's hard, he's competitive, he's edgy. And that's what you need to strengthen your team. And that's exactly what the Vancouver Canucks did in acquiring Nikita Zadorov. And certainly you're trying to make trades, you're trying to look at what the market could bear. And when you're trying to work through the machinations of a trade like this, Beauvillier out, Zadorov in, you think about subtracting one player, adding another. The net gain for the Vancouver Canucks is significant, because when you're trying to compete in a very strong Pacific Division and you're trying to make your team better, defensemen like Nikita Zadorov do exactly that. And the price that he paid really surprised me, to be quite honest with you. I thought maybe the price might be a little bit higher for Nikita Zadorov, but for the Vancouver Canucks, I mean, this is a home run.
And so, you know, for Craig Conroy, you could at the very least say you get a guy out of the dressing room who didn't want to be there anymore. What do you think is next for him, Craig? Is he really just getting started here?
Oh, I think he's just getting started. I mean, they already talked about how they weren't going to hold contract talks any further with their potential unrestricted free agents. And I think that with Noah Hanifin, Chris Tanev, Elias Lindholm, that there's massive value out there. I'm not so sure that that value is going to, be received at this point in time trying to make a move. But as time goes on, you get into the new year, you get closer to the deadline, teams have cleared off cap space, and now those players can really strengthen a team. So I think that Craig Conroy's clearly in the driver's seat here. He doesn't have to do anything right now, because all those players, as pending unrestricted free agents, it's in their best interest to continue playing at the level they're capable of. And I think they'll do exactly that. And everybody will get their just rewards at the end. Craig Conroy and the Calgary Flames, and the individual players, and the teams that trade for these players on expiring contracts.
And Craig, because we are TSN, we'll make a Calgary-Vancouver trade about the Leafs now. Reports suggesting that the Leafs had an offer in for Zadorov, but Calgary chooses the deal where they don't have to retain any salary. So where do you turn now if you're Brad Treliving? Is Chris Tanev your obvious target?
Well, you can't just limit yourself to Chris Tanev. You got to look at the type of defenseman that will help your team be better. And it's got to be a defenseman like Chris Tanev, if not Chris Tanev. Noah Hanifin would make your team better. We know Zadorov would have made the team better. But there's other defensemen out there that can do it. Look at what the Minnesota Wild did in acquiring Jacob Middleton. That type of a player is really, really important to strengthening your team. So Brad Treliving can't just zero in on one postal code, and that being that of the Calgary Flames. He's got to take his net and make it throughout the league and find those players that might be available and then trying to execute. Because if you're going to wait for one area, remember, Craig Conroy is in control here. Craig Conroy's not giving away these players. And certainly, as Brad Treliving's longtime assistant, he's not here to do Brad Treliving any favors. He's here to help the Calgary Flames move forward into the future, and that's exactly what Craig Conroy will do.
And in the future, as in Saturday, the Calgary Flames and Vancouver Canucks will be playing each other. Won't that be interesting? Craig, you're the best. Thanks for chatting with us. We'll talk to you soon.